stops and narrates the way, and the ever-steady Styxboy shall ride away your brain. Bad to the bone, bruise the furnace, pick up for days on days, and the great sound covers slow effects that bad writing to slay. We are all damage of damage. We are all damage of damage. We are all damage. The qualified, we are prepared.
Welcome back to another episode of The Qualified. Hope you're having a good Friday. Not that it's Good Friday, but a good Friday. What's going on? Styxboy 73. He is cat-tastic for some reason. Are you a cat dad?
I'm
show.
And we got Joesduelin, the creator, the heart of the show, the director, the whatever you want to call him. He has a title.
Man behind the curtain.
What's going on, guys?
Needs a curtain. Not much.
Oh.
Sorry, folks. Dom is not with us this week. He is melting somewhere down below the Mason-Dixon. Helping somebody
Dom's
move.
not even here. I didn't notice.
So Dom, our hearts go out to you in this heat if you're actually helping somebody move, because that's a horrible thing to have to do, especially in this heat. So
That's
stay hydrated.
It's been like 100 plus feel here in New York. It's been crazy. The humidity's been killing me.
It's been rough. It's been dry too. We've gotten no rain in like the past week and a half. So
we had
everything's
a little
drying
bit.
out.
We had a little bit, not much last night.
Got nothing. The grass is getting brown. Got to water the garden twice a day. Try to keep up with everything. I just like that 1 or 2 days of rain so I could be lazy and be like, I don't have to water the garden today, right?
Yeah, Kyle posted a picture a little while ago. It's like 117 degrees in Arizona. I was like, fuck.
Yes, that's what they call Wednesday.
Yeah, that's hot and paved over. It's a desert.
Yeah.
It gets hot out there. God, I couldn't handle that. It's hot enough here in the mid 90s.
Did you guys see the first episode of House of the Dragon?
Yes.
No.
What you thought about it?
I thought it was a good entry to the season 2. I thought it was a good intro episode. It carried through the tension from the end of last season. Like I'm someone, I've never read the books.
Yeah.
So I come in with a blank slate. So I know people have said there's some things that differed in the first season and the second season, that intro, that the book was a little more graphic, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good start.
I thought it was a good start. I love how Rhaenyra only had like one line, and it was a really powerful line to the whole show, pretty much.
It was an emotional. It was definitely an emotional episode as well. It's weird. I know it's a fantasy show and stuff like that, but the acting is really superb in that show. Everybody's cast exceptionally well. Everyone's a pretty solid actor. I think that's probably because they pull from a lot of British actors and stuff like that a lot have stage experience, and
Doctor Who.
Yeah, they can tend to carry that stuff. Whereas another little show on Disney Plus, it's not such good acting.
It's wavering to people, I think.
The show has been enjoyable, and
yes.
this will be my short acolyte screed. The show has been enjoyable enough as the story has progressed, I guess. But the acting is Star Wars acting. I need to learn to tune my brain to Star Wars level acting and dialogue when watching that show.
There really must be some guidelines that George Lucas said that you don't have to be an amazing actor to be in Star Wars, or the writing doesn't have to be award winning.
I've seen Daphne Keane in other things, and I've enjoyed Daphne Keane in other things. I find her a bit wooden and weird in this show. And I mean, granted, she's played a very, very minor role, but still.
I don't. Maybe it's because the Jedis were more military back then, that they're trying to do this whole military stern, stiff upper lip thing.
Yeah, but even in the Clone Wars, or like in the movie section, Phantom Menace, Clone Wars, they still had some characterisms to them. It wasn't all, Gestapo.
What was was it a tweet or a Instagram post or whatever today that said the guy that plays Soul was taken to the hospital because he broke his back trying to carry that whole cast.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know. I don't think
I don't necessarily feel that way. I have no problem. I have no problem with the lead. She's good enough for what she's doing in that role. I like Soul. Soul seems to be the only one who has any type of depth of emotion beyond the lead character. Everyone else kind of.
So from what I've read, and he's getting crap for it about that too.
Yeah, people are going to pick faults with anything.
Oh,
I don't know.
He's showing attachment. No, he's showing concern.
Yeah,
Jedi
don't show attachment, but
concern and attachment are two different things.
Yeah, I think we have to realize that Star Wars is going to play things fast and loose a bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
from this point on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And people got to realize Star Wars, it's not actual history. It's just a fantasy show.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've said this all along. I need to wait to see how the whole
actual history
story arc works out. I need to see the whole story arc to really know how I feel about it, because it's hard to judge halfway through a series, where the story's going to go and how they're going to turn it. And it can turn and be very interesting, or it can be Star Wars. And everything can be extremely surface level and not deep at all. Because, like I said, you can go on 8 million sites and see 8 million fan theories and this and that, whatever. But I don't know, Star Wars always
every day.
Stories always seems to be like you get 1,000 of these deep in depth, based on canon, good fan theories of where the story could go. But then Star Wars normally just gives you something very surface level and basic. And
yeah, because I've seen people get super excited with this whole theory where it's going in their head, and when they don't get it, they become disappointed and hate the show.
Yeah. Head canon is a slippery slope, because you can think your own best, and then when you get it in the real time, it never lives up to what you have up here. Your imagination creates better story for you.
That's why it's almost harder to watch these long running IPs when you have all that base of past knowledge of everything. In Star Wars, if you've read the books, if you've read the comics, if you've seen all the movies, you've seen all the shows, you have this thing stuck up in your head of what you're going to expect to see. And sometimes those expectations are a bit unrealistic.
Movies contradict the books contradict the comics. The comics contradict everything. It's true.
Yeah.
You never know where they're going to take stuff from Star Wars.
Yeah. So it is what it is.
And people's most reliable source for Star Wars is what? Been Wikipedia? Wikipedia.
Which, by the way, was scrubbed of Kyle Mundy's birth date, I believe.
I think they updated it to match the show, because what they were using was the Legends birth date, I believe.
Yeah, neither birth date I don't think aligned well, and at one point they just removed the birth date and just put a death date in there. But it's just weird. It's like if that's gonna be what destroys the show for you, then I still think it's stupid to put stuff like that in there.
Right.
Because it's just people are just gonna nitpick it. So if you're gonna put something in there like that, just have it be, locked down a little better.
Jedis don't have birthday parties, so who cares?
No, they don't.
They don't. GT Comics, welcome, buddy. We got Ed LeBeau, Wave, and we got Cosmic One. Doctor Who finales on tonight. I am so far behind. I just started watching episode 5 with the War Planet, I believe. Okay. So once I catch up and we finish Doctor Who, me and Styx are definitely doing a Doctor Who new Doctor review, reaction, and where we think it's going.
We'll go through the episodes.
Yes. Yeah. So that'll be a fun time. Doctor Who.
It'll be a time.
You want to come on, Jedi, Joe?
I know nothing about Doctor Who.
You don't need to know anything.
Doctor Who, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with people that have an interest in it. Like I said, there's something for everybody. Yeah. But I've been watching Dark Matters on Apple.
What is that about? I see something about a mirror world or something.
Basically, you have Joel Hedgerton or whatever.
Hedgerton, yeah.
He's married to Jennifer Connelly. They have a kid, whatever.
Ooh,
he's basically, and all I'm giving away is spoilers kind of from the first episode. They're on 6 or so. So he's kidnapped coming back from the bar at night and wakes up. And basically he's kidnapped by him from an alternate universe. He basically created a device to allow you to, a little tweak on quantum physics, to be able to go into this thing and access infinite universes.
Ooh.
So step between reality.
He's in that guy's universe, and that guy has stepped into his role because he always wanted to be married to Jennifer Connelly.
But he doesn't need a cosmic treadmill.
So it's him getting back to his own reality and everything that ensues in there. But it's gone really weird. Like first 5 episodes, I'm like, okay, this is following. The last episode, things got really weird. So
like weird.
Went off the rail.
It's interesting sci-fi. It's pretty well done.
I'll give it a watch. It sounds interesting. Sounds right up my alley.
Yeah, it's some good, interesting sci-fi, but like quantum physics, it gets very, very messy, and the show has now gotten very, very messy with this last episode. So we'll see.
And Styx, you looks like you're being surrounded by a wall of comics. Are you able to get out of that room?
Yeah, my exit is this way.
Okay.
Blink twice if you're being held hostage in a room full in a hoarder's paradise of comics.
All right. Let's get outside looking in.
Let's do it.
Welcome back to Outside Looking In. The books that weren't hot enough to make it onto the Hot 10. First up,
the Hot 10 wasn't so hot this week in terms of book selection. It was rough. It was a rough week.
We got Darth Maul, Black, White, and Red, #1, second print, $1 and $25. A mouthful. It was one sale, sold for $207.50. Last week it sold for $172.
And the name of the game this week has been low volume.
There's
not heavy volume really on much of anything. This, of course, is no exception, which didn't have heavy volume when it was on the list last week on 10.
I still do not like this cover.
It's still a 1 and 25 going for
207.
Yeah. So
that's
why people like them all.
How long this has been out? What, 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
3, right?
Yeah, I think 3.
They still continue to climb. Interesting.
Yeah, there's not that many out there. And so that's a hefty price. So I don't know how many more people can be willing.
That tells me that not a lot were ordered then.
Yeah. I mean, that series had a lot of fun covers. I've been very disappointed with those Star Wars Black, White, and Red books in general. They've been
there have been quite a few of those Black, White, and Reds that have been not so good.
Yeah, the covers,
no matter what
covers, there's good cover buys. And truthfully, with Maul, I mean, I like a good Maul story, but you don't get a ton of Maul covers. So being able to get some satisfies that itch.
A lot of
like Marquez, who did this. I'm not a huge fan. don't think it's that great of a cover.
Yeah,
but
No.
but you know,
Marquez did a Batgirl's cover, which is fantastic.
Cosmic is right. It's a Darth Maul cover. Maul sells.
Yep, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is still up there, but we'll see.
Hey, Mama Bear, what's going on?
This might be one of those things that just kind of falls off, and you just don't see any more because you're just not getting sales. But
it will look great in a slab. Oh,
yeah.
I don't know how many. Let me see how many 9/8 are this, if there are any up there yet on the Synthesis.
Surprised.
You know, people been doing. They've been pretty good with their turnaround with modern books. So.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I would say so. Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if there's not a 9/9 slipping in there soon at some point.
10.
Yeah. That all black cover. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, because I hate black covers. I really do. They look perfect, and then you get close to like crap. There's a freaking let's see, a freaking mark on the back or somewhere color rub touch. Let's see,
just greasy fingerprints.
I hate the way they do the census sometimes. Sometimes you have to really do searches for this stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Forget it. I can't find it.
We in the community have so many tools and things like that, but there's not like one tool that's like, this is the best thing. You get everything you need here. It's like, you know, you gotta get a cover price to look at one thing, gotta go collect to look at another thing. You know, a Grand Comic database to look for another thing. It's just kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Terry Floyd, I like the top half of this cover.
Like I said, mall sales.
Perp is doing his own shows now, so you can check him out on Little Movie Perp.
You know, he's talking about the VW Perp. He's talking about Kyle. Kyle only does Saturday.
I didn't mean Perp.
No, they're talking about Kyle. Kyle does Saturday. He's on SNS on Saturday, John.
Oh, did you guys get the the VW Perp? What's VW?
Volkswagen.
Oh, that's right. Him and his Volkswagens.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Ghost Rider 31. This is on here. The next couple books on Outside Looking In are purely spec buys on rumors and news. So we got rumors of Ghost Rider and the Midnight Sun. So this book will be perfect if you don't have it already in your collection. Because I believe they said
that nice flame polybag.
Ryan, is it Ryan?
Yeah, Gosling.
Gosling will is up for the role of Ghost Rider.
Yep.
Who's Kyle?
Yeah.
Who's Kyle?
So yeah, so like I said, people, I guess dust off your Ghost Rider books, because whether they cast Gosling or not doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking, and rumors are talking about casting people for roles, which means there's at least somebody possibly looking to cast those roles for something. So,
yeah,
you know, whether it's Gosling or not, if you get some cemented thing in there, there'll be lots and lots of Ghost Rider spec.
Dom is in West Bubblefuck,
North Kakalaki,
somewhere moving in the heat.
Yeah. Somewhere in the high heat index.
Yeah. And you can't have Ghost Rider 31 without having Ghost Rider 28. Lilith is rumored to be the big bad in Blade.
Yeah, of course, but Blade will never get made, so there's
Blade
that.
will release in 2035. Marshall
2035.
You probably have a better chance of seeing Jonathan Majors in a Marvel production before you see Blade get made.
Probably.
But if I take care of these books, my kitchen table will be wobbly.
Well, the poly bag keeps them from getting wet, so that's good.
Yeah. The poly bag protects against getting creases and dents and color rub.
Yeah.
Damn poly bags. I hate poly bag books.
These books always pop up with the Midnight Sun stuff.
Mhm.
You know, if you're going to look for some steady movement up, go back to your Marvel Spotlight run. I know that's pricey in, you know, Marvel Spotlight 5, which was on the Hot 10 because of Raw sold for $16.50. But don't forget that, you know, Spotlight predated the original Ghost Rider run, and then it overlapped with the original Ghost Rider run. So picking up some of that original Ghost Rider run early, you know, 1 through 5 of that, and then picking up some of those Spotlights, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, those through there. Some of those are still very gettable and reasonable.
Majors recently got cast in Doom director's brother's new film, Merciless.
College,
Hey.
brothers, college roommates, sisters.
The shame jail gets shorter and shorter and shorter anymore. So people have short memories. I mean, Will Smith was in a #1 movie last week. You know, people have short memories.
Yeah. And F Ghost Rider, I'm going to spec on Nomad. I like Nomad. Bring the DV in.
The thing is, there's 2 Liliths. There's the Marvel Chillers, Lilith, and then the Midnight Suns Lilith.
No, Giant Size Dracula.
I think it was a Marvel Chillers.
Yeah, but it's a Dracula.
I don't know. I have it back here somewhere. Yeah, was it? Yeah. Dracula on the cover.
Yeah.
But talking about spec, and this book usually comes up every few months for some reason. It's time for it to come up sooner or later. Booster Gold #1. I don't know if this is confirmed that Danny McBride is the writer for the series.
I don't know if that's confirmed, but
or it's a rumor.
That would make me happy because I love Danny McBride.
Yeah, I'm all right with him.
Isn't Eastbound and Down, right?
Yep, he's Kenny fucking Powers.
Loaded up and trucking.
I think he thinks that Booster Gold could make an appearance in Peacemaker, which would make sense actually.
Yeah, I mean that's what they should do. They should drop those characters in where they can.
Yeah, before they get their own series. This way, the audience becomes familiar with them.
Bring it on. Bring them on.
But then I need Ted Kord as well. I need the original Beetle and Booster Gold together. That's good stuff.
Speaking of Blue Beetle, Infinite Crisis #5 is a Blue Beetle animated project in the works.
Called Blue Beetles, I believe. Plural.
Maybe it's the search for Ted Kord.
I think it's Ted's sister.
Well, that's the what's her name, right?
She was in the movie.
She was. I can't think of her name. Susan Sarandon.
Yeah. His sister first appearance was last year actually, which was right before the movie came out. In comics.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see that because I think that's a good landing for Blue Beetle. Is a cool animated project.
Because he's been in animated projects before.
Well, it sets it up well too. I mean, if it's cool animation, you can do some cool stuff with Blue Beetle.
Yeah, and DC does animation well, so
yeah.
That they do.
I don't need another live action Blue Beetle.
I remember this book in a 9.8 was like $400 to $500, and that was like $100.
Yeah, this book it does this a lot.
Yeah. But, if you want to read up on more on these books on Outside Looking In, please head over to CBSI.com and check out Pete's write-ups. Stay tuned for next week for more Outside Looking In. What do you got up next?
Let's do some pickups. Why not?
Ooh.
Let's see. I guess I'm here in the driver's seat, so I guess I'll take the lead here. So my love of picking up Bolin covers. I love this Vamps cover. Couldn't pass that up.
Nice.
And some more Vamps. And some dirty books. Private Dance, Cheeky Comics, Kickstarter. And I taped it up so I wouldn't get in trouble.
Don't ask what's behind the tape, guys. Don't ask.
But they have to ask you. Ask your mother.
And why not? It just came in the mail. I had pre-ordered it, so there's our Helverine. It's by the time I get my stuff late in the mail after pre-ordering it months prior, the price has normally already gone down on it. So, well, Scotty Young, that was a fun Scotty Young cover.
Yeah, I like that Scotty Young.
Speaking of mall, I got the Tyler Kirkham. That's the one I liked.
That battle damage.
Yeah, I like the samurai look on it. It was nice. Then I picked up a bunch of Space Ghosts. So I'm just getting pretty much all the non-ratio covers for the most part. I like Space Ghost, and
I like that cover right there.
They're all good. The Barons cover is good. The Mike Cho covers I really like. The old school ones are really great.
The animation, yeah.
Does anybody know if Space Ghost, the 60s cartoon, is streaming anywhere?
I'm sure there's one of those Tubies or Plutos or something has some weird Hanna-Barbera channel somewhere.
Yeah.
Where it's
yeah.
I've been picking these up every now and then. This is a built map. It's always a mystery cover. There's like several covers. They all come in this foiled kind of bag, and you don't know what cover you're going to get when you get them. So that's kind of fun.
Are you opening it?
No, I haven't opened any of them yet. I need to because I need to get them out of those bags. But
get them out the bags.
I did get the Blood Hunters because I like Elsa covers. So Kanto has a new series out. So
really?
Of course, I'll pick up some Kanto.
That thing's still optioned.
Probably. It would be such an amazing animated movie or animated series. And we got some Gun Hunting the Foil, which is hard to see in the foil. Foil. I've been picking this up because it's a funny series and it's a lot of fun.
Count Crowley,
mediocre Midnight Monster Hunter. This is not the first series of this character. There's a handful, but the covers have been great and it's a good, funny read. Got my Scott Forbes.
I like that cover.
Yeah. Rain Gonzalez finally came. The A cover. I like the A cover. It was a decent cover.
A cover's not bad.
I like to get any Black Canary covers. So. I like when they have the AAPI History Month covers.
Red Canary.
And last but not least, just a little Poison Ivy. I like Chris Piccolo. And I like the cover.
That's a good cover.
That's about all I got this week. Mostly just new stuff. I haven't bought anything good and old for a while. I need to get back into buying Golden Age stuff. But it's pricey and I'm picky. So
yeah.
All right, Bruce.
It's just
all right. First, I picked up a World's Finest 28 Zerdy.
Nice.
I love this cover.
That's the way to do it. That's such a fun way to do an homage. I really enjoy that. You get the double Tim homage of two covers in one.
Yeah, I like that.
We got the Green Lantern War Journal 10, the Panosian.
Nice.
Wait, what the hell?
I can see right there.
Why is that still on?
Turn off your green screen.
I have. All right. What?
This showed up at Marcos.
There we go. The Green Lantern War Journal Panosian.
Nice.
Marco's place.
Marco's dungeon.
Can he eat some of those white people
Catwoman
enchiladas he was making?
66.
Oh. Catwoman.
Yep. And then we have the other one. The Schmidt. Otto
Schmidt,
I believe.
Yeah, the Otto Schmidt. Since I got the Ain't No Grave #2 Scotty Young, so I went back and picked up Ain't No Grave Scotty.
Can,
That's nice.
can you
It's
see that?
signed. Yay!
Nice.
Can you say that? Can you say the title a little slower?
Ain't No Grave.
Ain't no grave.
#1.
That's better. I don't
Ain't
want
no
to tell you
grave.
I don't want to tell you what I was hearing.
And then I finally got my.
Was that available from his site?
Huh?
Was that from his site?
Yes, because it came with
Oh, there you go.
Then I got these from J. Scott Campbell.
How many times is it signed?
Not signed. Not signed. A little Deadpool, Wolverine, World War III #1. I'm still waiting for my Ultimate Spider-Man 4s set that I ordered before these, and I got these before that. I picked up Demon Annual #2. First appearance of Hitman.
Nice.
Watch out for the Hitman.
Have it on good authority that he might show up in the DCU. Also, I got a really good deal on this Teen Titans Annual #2 newsstand.
Nice.
It's under like $80.
Ain't bad.
And of course, what is a week without me picking up a DCU? Finally got this in a high grade. The first static and regular DC Continuum.
Oh, okay.
And I won this in a Raz.
Surprise.
So it was Empire 1.
Oh, the Art Adams.
Yeah. That's it for me.
At least you got the good one, not the black and white second print 125.
That one is horrible.
It's not bad, but it's just it's Maul. He's red.
It doesn't. I like the red one better. The color.
I
didn't like the way the black and white looked. Anyway. Yay! Oh no.
Got anything, Styx?
Not for me. All my stuff is overseas still, so it's on its way.
Yeah, I think last time I checked, I think I have close to 30 Kickstarters funded, so I never know when that stuff is going to come.
30 Kickstarters.
Yeah, I can't help it. I see stuff I like, and
Holy crap.
The problem is you see something you like, you fund it, and then they give you a couple suggestions at the bottom. You're like, oh, I didn't know that was out, and then you look at that, and then you fund that, and then it gives you a couple suggestions at the bottom. You're like, oh shit, I didn't know that was out.
I think you need a 12-step program for Kickstarters.
The problem is some of them fulfill very, very quickly, like paper films. Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmieri's paper films. They normally, they have things set out well. They do it. They fund it. It gets funded. It gets fulfilled, and boom, it's out. It's a well-oiled machine. Some of the smaller ones sometimes can take a long time, 6 months, 8 months. I have one I funded about 8 months ago, and I get updates on it. I get updates on it all the time, and it's finally fulfilling. But
I have a Kickstarter. It's been over a year. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I mean, and that's always the risk you take. The cheeky comic stuff, a lot of the cheesecake stuff I get, anything that Devil's Due does, those, and what's his name, Jamie Tyndall, any of those, they seem to have a well-oiled machine. They run campaigns all the time. They fulfill them fast, and boom, they're on to the next one. And I never have any problems. It's just sometimes you reach out for some of the smaller ones, and sometimes you get good artists on some smaller stuff. Sometimes, I mean, Flops will do some covers every now and then for some small Kickstarters and stuff like that, and I'm not missing out on a Flops cover. So. And they do tend to be cheaper. So, yeah, you fund an artist. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you lose. I have never had one not fulfilled. I've had delays, and it's a foot cover too, which really makes.
We should rename it to Booby Starter.
It is true. They do, but I'm seeing this more and more. Boom likes to use Kickstarter a lot. They really started with Berserker. and I funded that originally. That was the first Kickstarter I ever funded, and I'm just a dumbass. I funded it, and I was like, oh, I'll get the books when they come out, and then I realized, oh no, it's the hardcover trade paperbacks. So the comic all came out, and then I got these really cool cover trade paperback after all the books came out. Granted, I got the books digitally from them with the Kickstarter, but and then apparently I had funded it through the full series because they've sent me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they sent me like 2 or 3 so far. So I was like,
Oh, wow.
Okay. So my money's but Boom did that for They did it for Berserker. They're doing it for Power Rangers. They did, I think, a Farscape thing as well. So I think some of the indie comic labels are doing, some special things there sometimes. So it never hurts to look, whether you buy or not. It never hurts to look on Kickstarter. Yeah, there is a lot of, there's definitely a lot of Shikari everywhere on Kickstarter. That there's more covers, and they go for a good bit of money, but they're not cheap either.
I stay away from Kickstarter because I know once I start, I won't stop.
It is, but I figure, it's a direct line. Unless you're like funding through Boom, then you're funding kind of the studio as well. But you're funding artists more directly. You're funding publishers, a small scale publisher more directly. You don't have all those middlemen involved. You don't have Penguin involved. You don't have all those other middle people taking their cut. So,
yeah.
Right.
And if you see an artist you like or a writer you like or something like that, something that looks interesting, I'm willing to. I spend enough money on stupid crap all the time in terms of ratios and stuff like that. I figure I could throw out $40 or $50 for some interesting covers. So.
Yeah, makes sense.
All righty.
What do you got up coming up?
Continuing my Eiffel covers, I figured I'd throw up the old Betty Page cover, which is not easy to find in good shape, and it does go for a good amount of money. And there is some good Betty inside as well, and you can't go wrong with Are You Broad-Minded on the cover as well. Eiffel has tons of great pinup art in the earlier stuff in the 40s, and then they kind of moved to this kind of photographic pinup on the cover, which is nice.
Nice.
No corrections this week that I'm aware of. Anyone want to make a penance?
I don't think Styx screwed up that much. Was he here last week?
Yeah.
I think he was here.
We did the show. I did the cleanup on it before it went out.
Okay.
Again, I got another mixtape. If y'all want it, I'm throwing them up there. Again, you can click.
Let me see this list.
You can click the QR code, and it will take you to a Spotify playlist that I have put together for this week.
It's all hee-haw music, right? With the...
No, this one's just it's a little mix of this and that. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Makes my approval. Yeah, it's hot for teacher, so makes my
there
approval.
you go.
Of course,
That's
it does.
perfect.
Of course, it does. And there's only one Zeppelin song on there, and I like to ask everybody, "What's your favorite Zeppelin song?" And if they say "Hi," "Stairway to Heaven," I say I can't be friends with you, because
No Stairway.
That should never be your favorite Zeppelin song.
It's not my. I don't know what my favorite one is.
So for Comics Now later this week, I had to do some editing. There is on G.I. Joe 307, there's a great lyrics Baroness cover. So if you're a fan of lyrics and her work, I know everyone's a fan of the Baroness. It's a decent Baroness cover. So granted, it's in the other G.I. Joe series. So you never heard of Zeppelin?
Jedi. Hey, Jedi.
You never heard of Zeppelin, Jedi? I got some mainstream tunes in there as well.
They never toured in Texas. It's too hot.
Chaos. So Yeah. So again, this isn't in the fun Skybound series that everybody loves right now. It's in the other G.I. Joe series that everyone's forgot about. But again, it's Baroness covers. Baroness covers are collectible, so yeah, have a shot at it. Penthouse Comics 3 came out this week. There is a Comics Corner Jenny Frizen variant. This is also available in black and white.
I totally forgot that book came out. It still was ongoing, I mean.
Yeah, I get that.
Carmilla.
So it's a good Jenny cover. And you don't get a lot of new Jenny work. So,
Are these new stories or these reprints again?
No, I think it's all new stories.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the whole series, the first issue was all new stuff. So, and Vampiress Carmilla, I will never turn down a San Julian cover. There was Warrant Publishing is basically putting out these gorgeous old school looking books with Carmilla. So I believe it's all new stories inside. But again, anytime a magazine comes out and they throw a Frazetta cover on it or a San Julian cover or something like that, I'm just going to pick it up for, if you pre-order it, it's $6.99 off the shelf. You pre-order it, get your 30% off. It's not bad. If you're a fan of old Vampirella stuff and all those great artists, it's definitely a fun read and great cover to have.
They definitely broke out their compass to make those circles look nice. So.
Oh yes, definitely. And coming in the future, you all know my love of Gun Honey. This Pilat cover, Cedric Pilat's a great artist to begin with, but this is just a damn good cover. This has been one of my favorite Gun Honey covers I've seen in a while. There's two variants of this as well.
Good cover.
It is a damn good cover.
She's not hiding much.
No. I like I said, both covers are her, different color bikini in the other one and slightly different background. I like the one with the lineup and the height behind it there. She's
almost out of uniform.
Yeah, it's a sharp cover. I forget what it was for the set. Didn't break the bank. But I tend to collect most of the Gun Honey stuff and a lot of the variants as well, just because I really enjoy the series and they just put out great covers. I think, was it last week we were talking about Sowie? Maybe it was the week before.
I think it was last week.
Yeah. Trinity Special World's Finest #1 cover E, the 1 in 50, is a Sowie cardstock variant of Trinity. I like Sowie's work.
Good cover.
I think if you like Rose Besh but want it to be a little more contained, Sowie is a good way to go.
Floyd wants to know, where do you order the Warren stuff?
Tifa, Things from Another World. They normally have them on their pre-order lists and stuff like that. So I throw them in there, and truthfully, half the time I forget I've ordered them. They have the Erie stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
Erie's doing reprints of big, thick trades. So that stuff pops up on Things from Another World. So that's where I get them, and then just pray when they put everything in the box. When you get one magazine in the box, that it doesn't screw everything else. Because you got all the books there, and then the magazine. You hope some of those packing peanuts don't get under there and mess things up.
I've ordered magazines from My Comic Shop or Lone Star Comics.
Yeah,
they always package them separately, and then the comics when they package them up. So they do a good job when they do magazines.
Which is nice. I haven't gotten both from My Comic Shop. I've gotten magazines separately and comics separately, but never an order that had both. So.
Yeah.
Hey Joe, did you look at FOC this week at all?
No, I don't think I did. Because normally,
I just want to give you a little heads up. There we go.
Oh yeah, Lobos.
Ooh.
God damn it!
This cover right here, Lobos.
They're killing me. I love the Dodson this is on Superman. That's even
This Superman 16.
Oh, damn.
This is a beautiful cover. This is probably the best Zatanna cover in a long time.
I don't know. This series coming up has a lot of good covers. I don't know. I have a short box full of Zatanna books. So, is this a ratio?
No, it's open order.
All right, I will be open ordering it.
Two.
Because Lobos, I really like Lobos a lot, just because it has that Hughes feel to it. But I haven't been overwhelmed by too many of his covers recently. But that one is quite sharp. Last on the list, there's another Lady Mechanica series coming out, Devil in the Lake, and Saya Ohm always does unbelievably beautiful work. There's so many good Lady Mechanica books out there that just have just insanely amazing covers. They're beautiful, beautiful books. So this gives you a chance to get one before you have to buy it on the secondary market. So, and Saya Ohm is a great artist as well. She's fantastic. So that is what is out there in the future.
Before you go on, I want to show you one more FOC book.
Please do. Please do.
I need to start looking at FOC. I will look at this tomorrow for my show.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw this?
Yeah, I didn't know how I felt about it.
It's not a Hughes, but it reminds me of a Hughes.
I'll take my Hughes throwback cover.
Yeah.
Any day, which I have slabbed, and I'm quite partial to. I like it, and I like the throwback, but her face is a little muddy in that. It's
yeah,
got like a protruding jaw there.
Yeah, so
a jawline is stronger than yours. You have a strong jawline, sir.
Pulp Marketplace this week, there were 3 decent little Margaret Brundage sales of Weird Tales. Like I said, I just like keeping an eye on this. Things were relatively inexpensive this week for some reason on the regular Sunday through Wednesday Heritage sale this week. There were some big boy books that have gone over the past week or so, but these Brundages going even at a 3.5, $216 is not bad for this cover. You're getting a Conan story inside as well. 216 ain't bad. Same with this, $144.
Ooh.
Granted, it's only a 2.5, but again, it's a Brundage cover, and you're getting more Robert E. Howard stories in there. 145. I don't know how these are slipping under. I used to look for Brundage just raw stuff, and people would be trying to charge, $100, $200 for raw stuff that when you got it was like, oh, this is held together by nothing, and would fall apart. So now that they're actually graded, at least you have a better idea of what you're actually getting sometimes buying them slabbed.
Yeah. I was me and Styx were at a con last weekend, and I was looking to see if they had pulps. Nah, I didn't see any.
I think you'll start to see them more. I think a lot of people that buy Golden Age and sell Golden Age will probably have a better line on those. If people are selling Golden Age books, they probably have some pulps in there as well. It was a little country Wonder Woman
country
cover. And last but not least, the last Brundage one that sold this week. It was a 4.0, sold for $204. You had an H.P. Lovecraft story in there as well. So, I like I said, there's these books hit my feels in a lot of ways because the cover art is fantastic. Brundage is hands down. If you're not collecting Brundage stuff, if you're collecting pulps, you're missing out. She is an absolute legend, and there's not that much of this stuff out there. So, get them while you can. But also, just these old pulps, you can find old Ray Bradbury stuff, H.P. Lovecraft, the Robert Howard stuff. You get the original Conan stories.
Yeah. The thing
from the
I
person
hate
that wrote them.
when I do look up like pulps and I'm looking for
Yeah.
it, they always include like those old, and I don't even call them old because they're like 70s, 80s, the analog books. They're not really pulps. they're mini mags.
If you're looking on eBay, a lot of times, they mix up a lot of stuff flagged as pulp. But like I said, Heritage has been selling these, and Heritage has also been selling small lots of raw pulps, which have been going really reasonable. Lots of like 3 or 4 pulps for under $100, $70, whatever. I don't know. To me, they hit the feels for really cool horror covers, for really cool sci-fi covers. Whatever your niche seems to be, they seem to have a good pulp out there that covers it.
And I guess if I were to get any, it would be like H.G. Wells type covers and
you can find
covers.
Asimov stuff and all kinds of good stuff. But a lot of the sci-fi stuff, all the Planet stories. Remember, Fiction House did Planet Comics, and everyone loves the covers on Planet Comics, and those go for a good grip. But Planet Stories was also put out by Fiction House at the same time, the pulps, and they have amazingly beautiful sci-fi covers on there as well, and great stories on the inside. So it's a little my 2 cents for pulps. I'll keep plugging pulps, and at some point it'll happen.
Keep putting your 2 cents in that jar; it'll happen.
Hey man, they're slabbing them now, and that's changing the way the market is. You're starting to get a census on it. By the way, if you're looking, for something equivalent to the Overstreet, the guide for pulps is the Bookery's Guide to Pulps. Good luck finding one. The 2020 version, you can't find anywhere not sold out. If you can find it, I think there's one for sale on eBay for $700 and some.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And there's an introduction written by Steranko as well, which is...
What's the name of that?
It's the Bookery's Guide to Pulps. It's basically the Overstreet Guide for Pulps, where you can get all that information. And like I said, nobody buys an Overstreet Guide for pricing, really. You buy it for extra information to look up that you can't get elsewhere. And granted, online for comics, there's a lot of stuff where you can kind of find information now where you couldn't before, and you had to get the Overstreet Guide to kind of find, who's appearing in here? Is this first appearance? Is this whatever? But with pulps, not so much. So the Bookery's Guide is the kind of gold standard for looking through there. And they also, I think, rate it whether it's, scarce, rare, things like that as well.
Nice.
For the news this week, I went light on the news because I was lazy and behind in getting my slides done this week. So for starters, there is a new Conan the Barbarian series. They teased it with that free comic book day. So Battle of the Blackstone will come out in September. This will interlace other original Robert Howard characters as well in it. So for all you Conan fans out there, I think Jim Zeb is writing this, who has done a great job with that first Conan series that came out from Titan. So Conan fans, you got to be happy. You've been getting quality Conan for the past year and a half now. So be happy. I know I am. I'm happy it fell into the right hands, because if this was had fallen into Dynamite hands or something like that, I probably wouldn't have felt as comfortable with it. So
you'd be churning out more covers if they did.
Yeah. And granted, they've had a good balance of a decent number of covers, not too many crazy ratios, and some nice little exclusives here and there. So it's been nice. And the writing and the book, the interior art and the writing has been phenomenal as well, if you're a Conan fan. So we lost Donald Sutherland this week.
Oh, that was a shame.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are getting old.
Yeah.
He was no spring chicken. He was
81?
He was 89. But he's somebody. It's tough now because we grew up with these actors, when they were kind of, actually they weren't even in their prime when we were growing up. They were kind of in their prime before,
Right.
But Donald Sutherland was a unique one. He was fantastic.
He had a very long acting career.
Dirty Dozen is still one of my favorite movies. Kelly's Heroes, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You get to see his ass in Animal House. It's he was a great character, had a long, great storied career, and was good up until the end. I don't feel he never really like petered off. It wasn't like a Peter O'Toole where it's like, oh, Peter's really drunk, let's just bring him on screen for 5 minutes so he can mumble something and people can say, oh, look, there's Peter O'Toole. So he definitely will be missed.
Yeah, very much so. And my favorite movie was probably Backdraft.
He just, throughout every decade, he never really stopped working. He didn't really have too much downtime, even if he was making some crappy movies here and there. He was always working till the end, and he was getting big stuff. I mean, Hunger Games stuff and stuff like that. He was in big movies. Apparently, per Variety, Eddie Murphy and Jerry Bruckheimer are already developing Beverly Hills Cop 5. They have a couple of stories in mind, so apparently
Get 4 out there first.
They were like, let's Bad Boys did well. Let's if people like that, let's do some more fun cop stuff. So
they got to like 4 first.
Yeah. Well, 4. There's a trailer for 4.
Yeah.
There
is.
Looks pretty good. It's what, streaming on Netflix or Paramount?
I think Netflix has it. So we'll see what they do. I'm happy if they just do more of these for Netflix. Yeah. I don't need it in the theater. And I don't know. Maybe it's my age. I just want to see old Eddie Murphy. I want to see pre, Shrek Eddie Murphy. I want Eddie Murphy, raw Eddie Murphy. I want Axel Foley, Eddie Murphy. I want 48 Hours Eddie Murphy. That. So if I can get a little bit of that back, I know we won't get it back in full effect in these movies, but if I can get a little bit of that back, that'll bring a smile to my face. No, John, he was not in Bad Boys, but I think the nostalgia for those types of movies, even though Bad Boys came, decade and a half after the last Beverly Hills Cop movie that was there, but I think there is a market for these kind of fun kind of movies like this.
Because it can't be just him, because otherwise people would be clamoring for another Nutty Professor movie.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. I will say this. I think Beverly Hills Cop 5 will be made for Beverly Hills Cop 5 will be made before the Blade movie.
Beverly Hills Cop. Beverly Hills Cop 5 will be the Blade movie.
Coming to America was such a great movie, but man, did they botch that follow-up movie. It was not good. It was not good at all. So I'm excited to see what they do with Beverly Hills Cop with the current one when it comes out. If they can recapture some of that magic and not flush it down the toilet like they did in Coming to America.
Yeah.
As we mentioned before, Gosling possibly cast as Ghost Rider. Mm-hmm. So those rumors are floating around. I don't know. The way I feel about it, I just want people to talk about casting of this character, because that means this character is coming. At this
point, it doesn't matter as long as it's not Nicolas Cage.
It's not going to be Nicolas Cage. They're not going to cast Nicolas Cage in there. I'd be fine with Gosling in that role. I think that's fine. I know everybody wants Norman Reedus, and I would not complain about Norman Reedus.
I won't complain, but if they want this character to last, in the MCU. I think they should go late 20s and 30s with these actors.
Yeah, but you don't have to do shit. It's all CGI. Once that flame comes up, you're not riding a motorcycle around. You're just voicing over.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think the actor in this role is necessarily what people are clamoring to get. I think it's just the character itself of Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way I feel about it. I want people to be talking about it because I've wanted that side, and that's why I was so pissed about Blade and them shit in the bed on their 5 screenplays and 3 directors or whatever the hell they're on now. I want that I loved Werewolf by Night. That little Werewolf by Night thing that Marvel did was great. I loved the black and white. I loved the vibe of it. We got the supernatural creatures. I mean, they made Man-Thing interesting. And I was like, you planted a good seed. Now take that. I mean, the girl that played Elsa was great. I was like, you have all these great characters, and you're just going to piss everything away by sitting on that, not leaning into the supernatural side. So, that's what I've wanted for a while. Marvel needs to go different directions so that they can have stuff branch off and not have to be all interlaced and connected, because nobody gives a shit about the Avengers.
Yeah, for so long they've been booking their stuff on Iron Man and Captain America, and those characters.
And everything had to be sequential, and everything had to be linked, and something.
Right. That first 10 years, it worked for that first 10 years, but now it's, when you're trying to start something new, you don't have that.
No.
It's just not working.
Yeah, I agree with E2 comics like that. Pick an unknown and keep the budgets down on a lot of these movies. They can't afford to keep having missed box office like a lot of these movies have.
But are they? I don't know. I mean, I guess if Degrassi was here, he'd be able to clear these things up. I don't know how their contracts are set up now, because a lot of those Marvel actors took less on the front end and asked for more on the back end, because those movies were making so much on the back end of box office. That's what they wanted. That's the apple they wanted to bite of. So they were asking for less on the front end. So I don't know how top heavy those contracts are when you're bringing in some of these actors. If you're trying to bring them in for multiple movies and stuff like that, if you're offering them more on the back end, it might keep some of the budget down.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just like photoshopping his head on Ghost Rider. Cumberbatch is very much looking forward to playing Doctor Strange again in Avengers 5. I had to find the weirdest picture of Cumberbatch.
What the hell is that?
That's him from Zoolander 2.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, I guess he was talking about reprising the Doctor Strange role again for Avengers 5, and how do you say that, starting to shoot in 2025, I think, something along those lines. So it seems to be moving along. What do you guys want to see out of this line of things? I don't know where the hell they're going to go with things, because everything was supposed to be based on Kang. Now they said it's still going to be based on Kang, but not really based on Kang. But
I think they need to go back to the Baron Mordo stuff that they were trying to do at the end of the first one, and then have Brother Voodoo somewhere in there.
I wish they'd bring Brother. It's one character that Marvel has not brought in, which makes no sense to me. How they have not brought in Brother Voodoo.
And if you're gonna do a supernatural character, Brother Voodoo kind of is a big name for their supernatural.
Like I said, to me, they really shit the bed. I know Werewolf by Night didn't do spectacular with the views, but it was a short 1 hour one-off thing. I'd love to see Brother Voodoo and Strange. I'd love to see them do a Strange Academy as a Disney Plus show. You can't tell me that would not be a great Disney Plus show if they did a Strange Academy.
It would.
I agree.
You would hit a wide demographic, get to introduce a lot of new characters that are probably kids that aren't going to cost much acting wise in terms of salary.
I don't know how. I know. I don't know if a lot of
Like Brother
MCU
Raven.
fans are into horror and supernatural stuff. I don't think they are. I don't think it goes over very well with them.
Oh, well, then somebody should have told Marvel not to do a 69 issue crossover called Blood Hunt.
Yeah.
You know, if Blood Hunt
Apparently,
is
somebody at Marvel thinks they like it.
their Blood Hunt is their answer to DC versus vampires. That was done well.
Yeah, that's
Not Blood. I don't know what they're doing with Blood Hunt. I really don't.
I don't either. I haven't been following it because
It's all been cover buys for me.
I refuse to follow something that has that many tie-ins. I know that they can stand alone and stuff like that. As long as you read the main title, you're fine. But I don't know. Events are exhausting.
Well, that goes for a lot of those events too, right? A lot of the crossover stuff is single issue just for that character, but it's a lead-in somehow to the main title book. Yeah, just read the main title book. Yeah.
And then they do the multiples. It's like, oh, you're going to get like 2 issues or 3 issues of the, Blood Hunt Wolverine or Blood. It's like, nah, just give me an event, put that book out. Don't tie it into the other books, and put out as many covers as you want. Whatever, it's fine. But I don't know. Like I said, in live action, I think they should lean into it. We're getting a lot of monster movies that are coming that aren't Marvel, but there's the Maggie Gyllenhaal Frankenstein that's coming. I thought they were doing a Wolfman movie.
Yeah, there's a Wolfman. I can't remember who's in it.
And horror is cheap.
Yeah,
horror movies are cheap to produce. That's why horror movies make so much money, because they have shit budgets and people go see them. So why Marvel doesn't lean into that is beyond me, but we'll see. I'm not Kevin Feige or Bob Iger, so.
Right.
And last but not least, for our odd news of the week, this man and his friend were noodling. If you're unfamiliar with what noodling is when you are fishing for catfish using your hands. You basically go in, find the hole to go in, and you reach in. It basically grabs and eats your hand, and you hold on to it, pull out huge catfish. This man, whether he was on something or not, we don't know, but he killed his friend, and his defense was that his friend had summoned Bigfoot to kill him, so he killed that man in self-defense. So
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah. I don't know why friends would summon Bigfoot on another friend, but let's just say his defense did not work. He was.
There was no video footage of Bigfoot killing him?
Nope. Nope. No Bigfoot killing him. No Bigfoot showing up. No nothing. This guy probably just took a lot of meth and killed his friend. So watch who you go fishing with.
Watch who you do meth with.
Yeah, don't do meth. Don't do meth. Kids.
Oh yeah. Don't do.
Always put a 38 in the tackle box.
Don't do meth.
Drugs are bad.
For That's Not a Comic sale of the week,
Ooh, okay.
I decided to go with arcade-size games, original arcade-size games. So first up on the list, the original Atari Star Wars video game machine, coin operated from the 80s. This one was early 80s, I believe.
83.
I think it was before Empire. Star Wars game. So it was cool. It had it had your little X-Wing controller there. It went for a pretty nice grip. $6,000 for that. As a buy it now. Old arcade games, if you get the original, if they're not reboxed, and stuff like that, if they're original, they sell quite well for a good bit of money. The problem is most of them are beat to shit and the boards are all fried and everything like that. So, Next up on the list, one that I definitely remember playing a lot of was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game, the Konami from 1991. I
I lost so much money in that arcade, that machine.
It was always fun when they started doing, like, I started going to the arcades in the 80s, and it was that first gen of games like that, Star Wars or Tron, stuff like that. But once you got games like this, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where you can have 4 people playing at the same time, that was always fun shit. So that one went for $4,479 on a buy it now.
I really enjoy playing with 3 other people, and I still do now. But that's a time honored. I love Turtles. I still play it on emulation till this day. I can play that game over and over. There's
something about a full size arcade game, like no matter how much you love the game, playing it on emulation, it's fun briefly, but to me it loses its appeal after a while, because I don't know, standing at the machine, the size of the buttons, the joysticks, everything, it's a full experience. Yeah, Terry, when you become rich, you will have Dragon's Lair, and it will still take all of your quarters, and you won't be able to finish the game.
Oh, now that Styx is up,
the game was so frustrating.
Now that Styx is up, you can come down and play with my arcade sticks. No, I have a full-size arcade stick with a rollerball in the middle and everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's actually over there. At some point, I'll show you guys. Actually,
Dragon's Lair,
talk about that.
Dragon's Lair was the toughest damn game.
Oh, I hated that game.
And it was the worst, because you go into the arcade, and so many of the games back then had shit graphics for the most part. And then you see Dragon's Lair and be like, that's fucking amazing. It looks like the cartoon. And you go over there and start piling quarters in and just be like, what am I supposed to do? Oh, that was tough.
Yeah. Had that Laserdisc player inside of it, so. You used to have
Sometimes
it.
Sometimes you do. You got to touch the buttons too, Styx. You're AOA. You got to touch the buttons and grab the knobs.
Grip it and rip it like John Daly. They had that Dragon's Lair at the local Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh,
nice. When we'd go there, I'd drop like $3 in quarters, not knowing what the hell I was doing, like you said.
Yeah, it was just just pure timing. Pure timing.
I want to throw myself to the big screen for a second.
Do it.
Read the Lions. What's going on here?
Ooh. Holy shit.
The hell?
Jesus.
I think it's huge. You even had the side buttons for pinball.
Oh.
I thought it was bad because I had the steering wheel and gas and brake pedals for the Xbox. That thing takes up a shit ton.
Yeah, this thing is awesome.
Next up on the list, Marvel vs. Capcom. Nice arcade box. Was very clean. Sold for $38.49.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a very clean look. The Turtles box looked really clean too. Because I know a lot of those, they were in little pizza parlors and stuff like that. This thing's got beat to shit.
Yeah, scratched up and
kicked. Yeah, sides all gouged, and all kinds of things written all over April O'Neil. But last on the list, I had to put a cocktail table one in there, because if you ever went to a Pizza Hut,
Pac-Man.
Yeah, this is a Gallica. It sold for $35.49, but I've always wanted to have a coffee table game. It was always the best. Sit your drink there. You can relax, play the game. You got joysticks on both sides. The screen would flip for you. It was always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Pac-Man was always the go-to. There was a nice Tron. There was a Tron cocktail table one as well as the full-size Tron. Played a lot of Tron. I always liked it because you got different games within Tron. But Miss Pac-Man was always the big
Miss
go-to.
Pac-Man was the go-to game.
At Pizza Hut. All right, most Pizza Huts that I ever went to, some would have a little side entryway with an arcade of like 2 or 3 games. But the ones that didn't have that would have one video game. It was always a cocktail table game. It's normally Miss Pac-Man. And You'd sit there while your parents got drunk drinking beer.
Let me address AOA. Which still sucks at Street Fighter. Go watch my Street Fighter video where I destroyed Max in Street Fighter. All right.
That's funny you say that. There is a Pizza Hut near where I grew up as well. That is also a dispensary. Also, old Burger Kings. There's several old Burger Kings that are now dispensaries as well. It's like every fast food place, since nobody can afford fast food anymore and it's awful for you, are all going to go out of business and they're all going to become dispensaries.
Yeah, they just opened like 4 new dispensaries here. I'm like, how many people smoke weed in this town?
It's fun. I like to watch a little YouTube series called Pittsburgh Dad. There he has an episode where they drive around all of Pittsburgh looking for a sit-down Pizza Hut, and they go to all of the different Pizza Hut places where there were ones that are still there that are now something different. It's quite amusing. Quite amusing. All right, Styx, you time to shine.
Ooh,
all right.
I might know some trivia.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Has this been pre-approved?
Yes.
It's
Okay.
been preloaded.
Styx has my full faith to go hog wild.
So this week we're doing Black Cat trivia. A few iterations of what Black Cat has looked like throughout her history there.
Yeah, that third one on the top there is my favorite, where she changes it up to hide her busted up nose. So
she almost looks like Halverine there.
I will give them credit. They didn't do a ton of variations on her. They always kind of just they briefly tweak it and then they go back to their pretty much the original all the time, which is nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes a few more frills than other, a little more fur here, a little more fur there.
If anybody wants to challenge me in Street Fighter, my PlayStation name is Brooklyn Wrecker. I want to wreck you.
Oh boy. All right. Question number 1. The first appearance of Black Cat contains what error? So that's Amazing Spider-Man 179?
180.
194.
194. There you go.
Amazing 194.
Amazing. So is it A, were there pages misnumbered in the book? Was it B, was there a yellow stripe on the cover? C, was there profanity in the letters page? God forbid. Or D, were the first run books containing 3 staples out of the printer?
And you get an extra bonus point for picking the error on this page.
Wait, so
there's gonna be
those 3 staples, that wasn't a Black Flag exclusive?
No, that was,
okay. I'm gonna go with A. Misnumbered.
Let's see what's our chat got there. Anything in from the chat there?
Nope, nothing in there yet.
Come on, chat. Come on, we know you're in there.
Come on, BK. Doesn't take that long to look it up.
Yeah.
Of course, they're talking Alkalite again.
Yeah, we had a little talk about it at the beginning. Just as people got in. We can't talk about Acolyte too much because
we're embargoed.
Marcus slaps our hands because then they'll have no other content for their show. So
well, yeah. Okay.
Then every book's an error, AOA.
All right. So the answer for this one is there is a yellow stripe from the printer and the little top corner there.
Oh. Then I did not know that.
And the extra credit error was the fact that that's Catwoman in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a whole thing when I did my thing. Like, doing Catwoman.
Why is Catwoman there?
When I started doing the trivia this morning, I did Catwoman. And then Joe goes, we're doing Black Cat. I'm like, fuck. I'll redo it. So I forgot to change up the corner picks. So, all right. Question number 2 is, which is Black Cat father's profession here? I think I wrote that completely wrong and probably said it even worse. Was he a Jehovah Witness? Was he a door-to-door salesman? Was he a cat burglar, or did he work for Shield?
D worked at Shield. But he worked at Shield and was a Jehovah's Witness.
Nope. Daddy was a cat burglar.
He was a cat burglar.
Damn,
question number 3. In the Ultimate Universe, Black Cat blames Spider-Man for her father's death. Is that true or false?
True.
E2 says false. You said true?
All right.
Is that true?
And the answer is false. She blames Wilson Fisk the Kingpin for her father's death.
I always love the true false mix-ups.
Question number 4. Do you know the error on this figure? Now, the picture is of the changed, but if you know what the error of the figure was previous, was it A, did they misspell Spider-Man? Was the wrong name written in the front? Was the character of Black Cat mispainted? Or did it have the wrong figure in the bubble? Bruce left us. I'm going to cry.
You'll never get disagreement for me, AOA, with that comment.
Which titles are too small? What did I do?
No, not titles.
Oh.
And the answer is?
The answer is they had the wrong name. And you can see where they put Cyborg Spider-Man instead of Black Cat.
That's probably worth some money. Misprints are always worth money.
They can be. I mean, I've had some that went up a little bit, but they didn't really bust it.
I prefer the dollar store knockoffs. They make me laugh.
Yeah, there's we have a dollar store at our mall, and it's like all these Chinese like bootleg type stuff.
Yes.
Some
Trek Wars.
Yeah, some of it's pretty good. Some of it's pretty good. All right, this actress was supposed to play Black Cat in Spider-Man 4 for Sam Raimi. Which one is it? Is it Anya Taylor-Joy, Alexandra Daddario, Daisy Ridley, or Felicity Jones?
Daisy really? No. All right.
So they were in talks to do Spider-Man 4 with Raimi until it ended up closing up shop and going with. I think they went on hiatus for a couple of years, and they came back with the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. Yeah, with not Gordon, Garfield. Yeah, sometimes it can. Gloria Swanson, he's not even one of our choices.
All right, and the answer is?
The answer is F. Felicity Jones.
Who played
F.
Felicia in Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Yes, she did.
And
After we get through the spotlight, our closing segment tonight will be some possible live action castings for Black Cat.
Huh.
There you go. And thank you for playing.
yay, that wasn't so bad.
No,
Oh, that was good.
not bad for 45 minutes.
Now, some of these spotlights are easier to do than others. Black Cat, not an easy spotlight to do. She pops up in a lot of weird different books and a lot of long running books. So it's not necessarily easy to put together a large, somewhat comprehensive listing of Black Cat. But I put together about 45 slides of covers of good stuff about Black Cat. So I tried to do my my best here. Of course, name, Felicia Sarah Hardy. Current alias is Black Cat. Adventurer, cat burglar, thief, private investigator, bounty hunter, founder of Cat's Eye Investigation, former crime lord, and a criminal. She's never really a villain. She is definitely on the fringes. In the same way we get Catwoman for DC, it's not really. They're kind of out for themselves, and they kind of do their own thing, kind of have their own moral code that they kind of carry through. She's often the same thing. In times she is an anti-hero. Times she's kind of a villain, and other times she's actually a hero. So it's she's always kind of walked the line and done her own thing. Mm-hmm. Of course, she first appears in Amazing Spider-Man 194. You get to see her on the intro splash page. So as first appearances go, this is a gold standard. On the cover, the name is on the cover. On the splash page, the name is on the splash page. And she's throughout the whole book. She doesn't waste time getting with Spider-Man. She uses her sexual appeal to fool Spider-Man. But it's one of the more interesting love stories. Whereas Mary Jane fell in love with Peter for the most part,
she fell in
Black
love
Cat fell in love with Spider-Man. Black Cat's not a huge Peter fan. Black Cat's a big Spider-Man fan. So it's interesting that Peter, the poonhound that he is, and all that trim that he pulls, because he pulls some trim. It was an interesting, fun dynamic of, Mary Jane really loving the Peter and Black Cat really loving the Spider-Man character. She started off her adventures with no powers. She didn't have any powers. Her father was a cat burglar. She taught herself things, but she supposedly had a streak of bad luck, but she had no actual superpowers initially. You get her showing up in a few of the ASM books right after 194. You got her in 195 there briefly. 204 and 205. You get her coming back. She, like I said, she has a thing for Peter. She really digs Peter, but she doesn't have any powers. So in this run of Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man, she gets shot to shit and is forced to be in the hospital. She is literally, as the book says on the cover, at death's door. There is a run after that of Peter going and visiting her at the hospital, things like that. And she comes to the realization that she can't help Peter without powers. She is more of a liability than anything else. So she then goes and tries to get powers. She eventually gets powers from an evil source after exhausting all other good routes. And she basically ends up getting the power of bad luck. So literally a Black Cat. She is not so happy to find out who Peter or who Spider-Man really is, because again, she is really in love with Spider-Man, and she's kind of disgusted by Peter and his degenerate bachelor lifestyle in his shit little bachelor pad, and stuff like that. And that ain't her thing.
They can't all be Tony Stark behind the mask.
No. But again, like I said, she realizes that she is a liability. So again, she goes for that search of powers. She finally gets those powers of bad luck, but that leads to nothing but good as well. She basically, her bad luck rubs off on Spider-Man. So Spider-Man goes to Doctor Strange to get this bad luck hex taken off of him. And when that comes off of him, she loses her specific powers of bad luck, but they morph into kind of speed and agility, and basically gives her a different power set. So that's how kind of Black Cat got to where she was. It was a little interesting and complex storyline of all that back and forth with her and Peter, but it was a good read nonetheless. And there you go. You get her there in what is that? Spectacular Spider-Man. I think it's like 128, where you get her in that really hideous outfit. They were like, "Oh, this is shit. This isn't going to last long," because they very quickly put her back to her regular outfit.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah. If you're a fan through the Bagley years and the Larson years, you get a few covers of her popping up in there. Not too much. She did a lot through Spectacular Spider-Man, but didn't have too many cover appearances through those Bagley years and Larson years. Got a nice Web of Spider-Man cover there where you got her in Gambit. The Strange Tales one is a lot of fun. You get a very jazzy looking Black Cat with Dagger from Cloak and Dagger, which is just a interesting cover. I don't remember seeing that book before, but coming across it was fun. Those Strange Tales are definitely dollar bin books that you find floating around every now and then. And then, of course, as we got into the lovely mid-90s with Spider-Man Unlimited, yeah, that's an era. That's an era we skip over a lot of.
I think that's when everyone took a break from comics. Mid-90s.
Yeah. She did get her first solo title out there, which has some fun covers, even though her expression in all of them is pretty much the same. But
O-Face?
But that Black Cat one, it's a pretty recognizable cover for that first solo series. There was a nice Dodson run with Spider-Man and the Black Cat, where you got a bunch of Terry Dodson covers, which is fun. You had a nice crossover with the first volume of Claws, which was a Black Cat and Wolverine crossover under the Marvel Knights label, which I miss. I miss the Marvel Knights label. And then, of course, you start to get Campbell covers. And so begins the Black Cat cover era of lots of Black Cat covers. So again, in ASM, in these, what was this, 607 and the early 600s, you got those first two Black Cat Campbell covers, which again are iconic covers. Everyone loves collecting Campbell Black Cat covers on ASM. They're beautiful covers.
Those good covers.
You had the next volume of Black Cat that came out. Of course, the beautiful one there was the J. Scott Campbell. That's the one that is sought after in this run. I forget whether that was recalled or not at one point, but that's
I wonder why.
That's the one that will go for money out there is the Campbell one. The other ones are fun covers as well, but that Campbell was the gem of the bunch, which is on issue 1. You got some nice Superior Spider-Man covers there as well. Another very iconic Campbell cover on the far right there. Then she popped up on a few covers of, you got her in Marvel Divas. There's Girl Comics, which I didn't even realize was a series.
I've never seen that.
Yeah. So you got her on there on the cover with a bunch of some of the other ladies from Marvel. There's a Many Lovers of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man book as
I've
well.
never seen that either. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
yeah. And of course, Women of Marvel cover as well, which is nice. You got a second volume of Claws that came out as well. If you like your Wolverine series itself, was me. But
Ooh.
oh, there you go. Nice. And of course, you started to get, once ASM started rebooting, you started to get a lot of covers. There is that Midtown exclusive Campbell, which is a bit of a sleeper sometimes as well, on the far right. You got a Frank Cho there on the far left. And of course, some more Campbell on ASM 4. But they started to put together some fun Black Cat covers out of that series. Black Cat fans, some sleeper covers are some of the ones that are in Silk. So you have her and Silk going at it. Your obligatory ASM 300 homage, which every character under the sun has been in the Spider Universe, has some type of ASM 300 homage with them in it. But I like the Silk covers. I like those series as well. You had in the second volume of Silk some great Black Cat covers as well. Style's a bit different, but the Silk 2 there is a good cover for Black Cat. She popped up in one of the Patsy Walker, aka Hellcat books in number 11. She showed up in the Miles Spider-Man that was just titled Spider-Man, not the Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
You got her showing up in Venom as well. There's some symbiote covers as well of her, but they're just not that great. Again, they just started going to town on covers with ASM. Anytime they would reboot ASM, you were guaranteed like 30 covers and 20 retailer incentives. So you would get great Campbell covers. You got a Hughes cover there with the cell phone. There's like 4 variants of that in either trade dress, virgin, black and white. Like I said, enough Campbell to go around for days.
Jeez.
That's the third one over there, that Amazing Spider-Man. That's a J.G. Jones.
Well, they know where the money is when it comes to Spider-Man covers.
Yeah, they do. Like I said, they weren't shy. And like I said, there's plenty of Campbells to go around, but there's a lot of other artists there as well that put together some really, really, really nice covers. That third one over there is a Perillo. You don't get too many Perillo covers back then of Marvel stuff. So if you're a Perillo fan, there's a good Black Cat for you. Again, the third one over is one of my, I love this. I think
that's a great cover.
It's a Mayhew, the third one over.
Was that exclusive from his shop?
No, I don't believe it was. It was, I think it was open order. I know I have it.
Might have been Comic Exposure.
But it's a good one. I think there's a version of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
You even got some Momoko. Momoko has some good Black Cats as well. I guess it was the next series of Black Cat that was done had a ridiculous, then that would have been the one that was 2019, 2020. It had a ridiculous number of covers as well. So, you got Campbell covers, you got Nakayama covers, you got Aga covers, you got Archer. Yeah, there were so many covers on this, and they were all great covers. There were a lot of really good covers on this book, but man, there were a ton of them. That Art Germ, as always, there's a version of that Art Germ as well. And of course, the big boy book right there, the Le Chat Noir, that Black Cat Campbell book, is the creme de la creme. If you want a Black Cat book that's not the first appearance of Black Cat, that is going to hold value and be worth money, that is the book.
I don't even look at that book anymore.
No, it's
too expensive now.
It is not comfortably reachable, unless you have a shit ton of money, I guess. But for variants of a modern book, I find it hard to shell out that much money for it. But that is definitely a book that people will seek out and want as one of their grails. You can never go wrong being in a tub of milk. Got a nice hues there on the end, which is nice.
Good for your skin.
If you ever want to see what ScarJo will look like as Black Cat, you can look at that one on the far left.
Yeah. Was that intentional?
I don't know, I'm sure it was probably reference. A lot of these people use reference of somebody famous sometimes when they want something, but if that ain't ScarJo, I don't. Again, this whole series had a lot of really great variants. They're all, for the most part, pretty reasonable. Got a good Frank Cho there on the far right. But a lot of good, fun Black Cat variants. So if you like sexy Black Cat covers, those recent volumes in 2020 and 2021 will definitely get you where you want to go. The Venom Island cover is pretty cool there. The second one over with the Venom octopus.
Yeah,
Venom octopus.
it is.
I just saw a cover with a Venom horse.
Oh, Venom horse! Jesus Christ!
It was bad.
Well, like I said, there's plenty of Campbell to go around too. So if you're a Campbell fan and can't reach those heights of those Black Cat books that are really pricey out there, if you look at some of the variants that are out there, they are reasonable. A lot of these were open order. Some are from his site as well, but there's plenty of Campbell out there that was open order that you could get as well. I love the Gwen Stacy cover. You had a couple annuals with Black Cat as well. So you did have a Wedding of Spider-Man and Black Cat annual, which was Black Cat Annual 1, which was in 2020, I believe. And with that Infinite series, you had another Black Cat annual as well. And of course, they relaunched the series, so you can get your Scotty Young fill.
Yep.
That second one, the Alien cover, is a Momoko.
That's a Momoko?
I like to point out Momoko's work when she was doing early work for Marvel before they had her doing 75 covers a week. She had some really, really great covers. And that Alien Black Cat one is one of them. And of course, on the far right, the Women's History Month, that Jen Bartel series, you got a Black Cat out of that as well. The third one over, you got another Momoko in there. So the series had lots of great covers. There's something for everybody within that series. You had the Infinity Score, Giant Size Caper. I believe that's a Tony Fleece cover in the middle.
Yep.
Which is nice.
I love when they do those old style pulp books, pulp covers.
Yeah, Hack always does them, and they're always fun. You did have the Gameverse series, the Spider-Man Black Cat stories. There's a lot of good covers in there. There's some Campbells as well that are in there. And more recently, you just got the Mary Jane and Black Cat series that ran last year. So you had some Campbells in there. You had some fun hues in there. A nice black, the black and white with the red hair of the Ivantal cover is fun. You got the Lobos. I believe that was the 125 on the Lobos on the far right.
Yeah, the Dark Web crossover.
She shows up in the bottom panel there of the Marvel Meow if somebody actually shelled out money for Marvel Meow for some reason.
That was a thing?
Yeah, it was. It was
Wow.
a good shot. You got Women of Marvel as well, another Women of Marvel cover because they always put them out. You got her on the cover there. And then most recently, you've had the Jackpot and Black Cat series. So you've got some Hughes covers out of that, some Lobos covers out of that, some Momoko covers out of that as well. On the very far right, you have a Dan Panosian cover of Jackpot and Black Cat, which is nice as well. I'm a big Panosian fan, and I will never knock that. Of course, in the middle, you got your, my favorite, my Art Adams. I'll always take an Art Adams cover. I can't help myself.
I know. Trust me, I know.
I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for it. What can I say? And then I just threw in some fun ones as well. There's a nice Frank Cho exclusive Black Cat there. That second one over, that Amazing Spider-Man, I think that was that just sold on Campbell's site, I believe. But that one, I remember when that came out, that was a very hot book to get.
Yeah.
At ASM 25. And again, you have some more fun Campbell covers. And some of my random favorites. You got a Sway. That's from Black Cat 9. That Sway cover's great. You did have a horizontal Black Cat. That was the video game one. It's Black Cat from the video game, the one that has the horizontal art. I always like a good Spider-Man kissing Black Cat, a la Kissing Mary Jane, but Black Cat. Another Art Adams exclusive there with Black Cat with the old anniversary banner. Alex Ross, when he did all those covers in black and white, the sketch and the color ones. Black Cat was in there as well. You got another Art Adams on ASM. I just like the way he does them. AOA can't have any complaints about the size of them Tigolds. And again, Momoko, Extreme Venoverse, which I thought was
a cool one.
Kind of cool cover. I'm not a huge symbiote fan, but I kind of dig that one. And she was doing the symbiote stuff because she did a couple exclusives on Venom as well that were pretty good, that were more composed than a lot of the stuff that she does now. Now that brings us to who could play Black Cat. So I gave us 9 actresses that I came up with. So nobody gave me suggestions to who could possibly play Black Cat. I am happy to also take crowd suggestions as well from the chat. If anyone else has any ideas of who could properly capture Felicia on the big screen.
Well, let's go through your picks, and then if any suggestions, let's see.
I agree, Lord. I would love to see someone ask Panosian how he went from that Avengers book as his first work to the artist that he is now, because it is a ridiculous evolution of skill in terms of what he's putting out now.
We should speak to Pete and see if we can get him on the show.
I thought the only person we knew was Tony Fleece.
Maybe the guy Tony Fleeks if he can.
So
I'm kidding.
Felicity has always been in talks when it comes to Black Cat because she did play Felicia in Amazing Spider-Man 2 whether that was just a little hat tip or whether there was an intention there later on down the line. But I do think she would be a decent Black Cat. I threw Ruth Kearney in here just because she's a lesser known. I like to throw some lesser known people in here as well. She's an Irish actress. She was in Primer series. Natalie Dormer, I think, she looks like she was made to play Black Cat. If she wouldn't be thrown into the mix for casting, then I think Marvel was doing something absolutely incorrect. Next on the list, Lea Seydoux, who you might remember from the most recent James Bond movies. She I think has the kind of dirty sexiness to be able to pull off the role of a Black Cat. I don't know if the French accent gets in the way. Yeah, I don't want Sydney Sweeney because I'm trying to find people that have some acting chops to play it. And you know, she had her run. She made her choice. She chose Spider-Woman. Threw Nicola Peltz in there. It's just a young actress that has a good look and I think could pull it off and would be a cheap option for Marvel if they went with it. Saoirse Ronan. She's a bigger name, but not so big that she couldn't pull it off. I just remember her in Hannah. So the stuff she did in Hannah makes me know that she can do an action film and be competent at it as well. That's the problem with casting some of these people. You don't know how they'll be in an action movie. And last on my list, I threw in Samara Weaving just because she's a cheaper version of Margot Robbie. And she was good in that movie where she was engaged to that guy and they went to the family's house and she basically gets locked in there and the family plays a game, which is to kill her. That was a very fun movie. And she was really excellent in it. So I thought she'd be an interesting choice. I threw Jenny Ortega in there because why not? Why not throw Jenny Ortega in there? Why not? Maybe they want to mix it up for Black Cat and bleach that hair, give her the platinum hair, and let her spread her wings a little bit. And last but not least, for the fellow Polacks in the audience, Elizabeth Debicki. She is like 6'2". She's super tall.
She's a big pierogi, if you know what I mean.
She's been in Marvel projects before, but nobody's going to recognize her if they cast her as Black Cat. She was Aisha in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and 3. So you're used to seeing her painted all in gold.
Yep. But
nobody would notice if she. Yeah. Lucy Hale would be interesting. I thought about putting Anya Taylor-Joy in here, but I'm like, how? I'd rather see them cast her as Magic again. That would make me happy. If they pull some of that in from a mutant standpoint, I'd rather see her talents go there.
I would say based on the cast of the Spider-Man movies now, who they've casted, my pick would be Zazie Beetz for Catwoman, because she has that cocky attitude that she did when she played Domino. Yes,
for Black Cat.
And yes, and she was great in Atlanta comedy, so she can mix that cocky attitude with comedy to make Felicia come to life.
Do you know how mad people are going to be if you race swap?
I know
another love interest of Peter Parker.
Yes, that's no point. They already did it with Mary J. MJ.
That's what I said. They already did it once, so
why not do it again?
I do love Zazie Beetz.
Zazie Beetz she's really good.
But she's Domino.
Is she really?
Yes.
Doesn't matter. It's a Fox movie. Doesn't count.
I don't know. I really want her back as Domino. I liked her as Domino.
I don't think she'll be back as Domino.
I don't think she will either. But I loved her in Atlanta.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's some castings. It would be nice if they brought the character in. Who knows what they're doing with Spider-Man at this point, where that's really gonna shake out to. This whole Sony Marvel in between world is weird.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how they try to close out Venom, or at least Hardy's Venom.
You can't have a tall cat burglar. They can't be taller than the Star.
But she's super skinny. She can slide into different areas.
They still can't be anybody. They can't have anybody taller than 5'5".
She does have the deep voice.
Right?
She has the deep voice though, so that would probably be a problem because her voice is probably deeper than Tom Holland's.
And this is the cover they were talking about that came out this week.
Yeah, the Lobos. That is pretty.
I didn't get the 1 in 100. Nah.
Why? They put a trade dress on it. I can get the same cover, cheap. There's no reason to pay ridiculous amounts of money out of the gate. Wait, 2 months, go on eBay, and you'll find a 1-100 ratio for $40 if you really want it. So, yeah, I agree. Catherine Winnick would be good. I don't know. Dormer to me seems the logical option. I wouldn't mind Felicity Jones just because we were already kind of teased with that. But I look at Natalie Dormer like, were you made to play a Black Cat? It's just, I don't know. I guess the problem is you need someone with some sex appeal. You need, somebody who isn't meek, because Black Cat is not meek. But the problem is Tom Holland, and pairing somebody with Tom Holland that I don't know if you can put a full grown woman with Tom Holland.
I've been saying this for the longest time. Tom Holland looks like a 12-year-old, and the more Spider-Man movies they make, everybody's growing up around him. He still looks like he's 13, 14.
Yeah, but you chodes are excited about Uncharted 2.
Uncharted 2? No, I hated Uncharted. That movie was horrible. And besides, it had Mark Wahlberg in it.
But yeah, I don't know. It's I mean, Natalie's not getting any younger, so hopefully they do something with the character soon, or they'll have to age down. But it's the type of character you don't have to have a long run with. You can bring Black Cat into a single movie and maybe 2 movies, and that's fine.
That's true. I enjoyed Uncharted.
Did you play the games?
Yeah.
You still enjoyed the movie after playing the game?
I still enjoyed the movie. I don't. It doesn't need to be,
Yeah, I saw Battleship. It wasn't like the game either.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Styx.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome, buddy.
All righty. Well, it was a short one tonight, guys.
Yeah,
that's what she said.
We didn't have Dom banter, so.
Oh my God, Dom banter.
It was a short one, so just a reminder: QR code if you want to pick up a mixtape off of Spotify. Little curated mix, little rock out with your cock out this week. If you missed some in the past, we had a nice funk and soul. Just a nice random mix. And of course, if you want a little country, that's there for you too. So I'll be spitting these out every now and then. I don't know how much steam I have in me for continually making them, but I do find them fun to do.
Can you do a salsa mix next week?
Salsa. Salsa mix. If you haven't subbed yet, please sub up to Renovation, Kingdom of Nerds, Bruce's channel. Always great content. Styx, you can watch him play Fortnite. It's a good time. And I have a channel as well. I dump some of these spotlights up there just in digestible little 3-minute animated PowerPoints, just music behind them. No talking. So they're quick, so you can just quickly see all the covers. So it's fun. And check out Dom on IG. He's putting something FET related up there on a regular basis. It's always fun. So
who's Dom?
If you like the show, we appreciate you hitting the thumbs up and liking the show. If there's a specific spotlight for a character or an artist that you'd like to see, please feel free to drop that in the YouTube comments after the stream. We always like taking suggestions if somebody wants to see something specific, because I run out of ideas sometimes and it's hard to come up with stuff week by week. And as you know, I like my spotlights to be a little top heavy. So running out of ideas, guys. So watching Supreme, that would be fun.
And I have my show on Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be talking some FOC, some top covers of the week, and maybe even some Silver Age sales this week.
Nice.
But we'll be here having fun.
There were some good Silver Age sales this week. Heritage had a lot of Silver Age up there this week. That was pretty good.
I might have to extend that segment this week.
Yeah,
20 books.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I like looking. We need to start looking back to more Gold and Silver Age stuff. There's just really good stuff.
Yep. Maybe I can get Styx on.
Maybe the science mags. I don't know about Boys Life, but we already get flagged every week for.
I'm looking for some Boys Life magazines. They have some comics in there that I'm gonna get.
Walking away.
Once. Yeah. To stack up with your highlights magazines.
My highlights and my Jack and Jills. Yep.
Been robbing pediatric dentist's office for copies of highlights.
Yep.
Somebody filled out the megs already. Damn it. For Renovision, CBSI Hot 10 runs at 9:00 every Friday. We always follow at 9:30. Tomorrow night, you can check out the boys on SNS. I know there's been a lack of breastfeeding videos, so Kyle's been a little down in the dumps. But I'm sure he'll get back in the saddle because I believe IG has been feeding those streams a little more lately. So their filtering was temporary.
Are you going to be on the show tomorrow night, Styx?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
So a possible appearance of Styx tomorrow. For all of your in-depth Star Wars needs, Tales from the Dark Side will explain to you why you're wrong about everything about Acolyte. Sundays at 9:30-ish.
And make sure you drink a lot of coffee before that or Monster energy drink.
Yes. But they've been giving good in-depth discussions about Acolyte, characters, and Star Wars lore and things like that. And if you're looking for someone to debunk some of the noise out there on some of those things, they will set you straight on all things Star Wars. And of course, on Wednesdays, watch the TAC show where Pete, Dubs, and Marco do their thing. It's always interesting. Never know what you're going to get. Never know what kind of mood or BAC Marco is going to have when he's on the show. So it's summertime and it's fishing season. So 50-50 chance Marco is going to be tuned up when he gets on the show. So always a good time.
Yeah, that local Michigan lager.
Ah.
Well, I know if I hear I've been out fishing all day, I'll be a little late. I'm fishing all day. I'm like, oh, he's gonna have 12 to 15 in him by the time he gets on. So that's always fun. But other than that, we appreciate you all hanging out tonight. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Stay out of the heat. Stay hydrated. And we will catch you again next week. See you, everybody.
Yay.